Hi, I'm the Alchemist Astrologer, and this is your May forecast for Scorpio Sun, Scorpio Rising, and Scorpio Moon. So at the heart of the matter is this Knight of Pentacles. This is Earth energy, maybe a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, Sun, Moon, or Rising, male or female, or just the traits of this Knight will be important. And there is a focus on making some steady progress, albeit slow. This is the slowest Knight in the deck. But whatever he has his hand in, he's looking for some steady results for the long term. So for some of you, you're looking at your investments. You're looking at perhaps unexpected income that may tie to friendship, collaborations, partnerships, the group influence, associations, and whether you're thinking in the same terms. Because the Knight of Pentacles puts a strong focus on your value system. And you're going to be very patiently working out some details with regard to something. Maybe you're looking over your investments, your assets, what's growing, how long is it taking, what is the yield, and you're looking at habits, spending habits, or even where you've been investing your time, your emotion, your energy, and what the payoff is. You also have the Knight of Swords. This is air energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, Sun, Moon, or Rising, male or female, or just the traits of this Knight. Now this is someone who may be rushing to take action. He's rash, he's impulsive, and positively he may be coming up with quick, brilliant solutions. Maybe communication is his forte, although he can be rather aggressive. So for some of you, this Knight represents some kind of conflict, or perhaps the need to rush in to protect someone. Now, perhaps you are in discussions that center around income or assets. Maybe you're paying for transportation or paying for some form of communication. Maybe you're even paying security. The Knight of Swords can represent law enforcement, legal agencies, planning agencies. So some of you, maybe you're researching something connected to income or security. Now, these Knights seem to be moving in different directions. They're at odds with each other. There's a disparity here because this Knight wants to get something moving. And again, this Knight is the slowest Knight in the deck, and they're not even looking in the same direction. So you may be at odds with something and the movement of it, or maybe you're conflicted yourself. This is about some kind of dream. Perhaps you're protecting something that is important to you, something that you've dreamed of, or you're fighting with someone about that. It could be that there's some unrealistic goals. And again, the Knight of Swords may be confrontational, very brash, perhaps arrogant or rude. The Knight of Pentacles, maybe he's slow. Maybe he's not being very original. He's not coming up with any new ideas. The Knight of Pentacles is slow and steady. So he's not apt to drive outside of his lane. He likes the comfort of knowing where he stands, where he is at any given moment. For some of you, this may represent issues that tie to loyalty and devotion. So you may be communicating about that in terms of security and money or assets, investments. Now in the past, there's an issue again related to communication. Somebody's excited to get moving on something. And so your ego, your ambition, your drive is very important. Now, perhaps, there's an attraction here, whether that's to a person or to a situation. Maybe this is a project. This Ace of Swords is about getting this green light to move ahead, to go, something that would give you greater freedom. And perhaps you're rushing into something, and something that breaks out of the normal routine. This is fire energy that has to be acted upon, otherwise it fizzles out. So maybe there's some kind of stimulus that gets you moving, or could even make you passionate and angry about something. Perhaps there's a dream to have greater freedom in whatever capacity that is. So, negatively, there could be anger because something has fallen through. There's a failure to deliver, or somebody's too slow to act, or there's a lack of excitement or passion that, somebody wants to get moving on something. And you have this World card. So, you are excited or you're passionate about closing out some kind of cycle. Now, maybe you want to make a fresh start, a new beginning. This may be an alliance. It could be, closing out some kind of cycle. It may have to do with something at a distance, or being on the internet, or dealing with health issues. But you want to make a fresh start, and something is coming back full circle. You're trying to find some kind of inner peace and renewal with regard to something. So you're also looking at your limitations, what you're capable of. So you want to get moving and rush into something to close out a cycle. So you're doing this assessment and hoping for the best possible outcome. It may tie to the environment, something that you're involved in. It could be a desire to break away from the norm, perhaps relocate, a new job, a new relationship, a new circumstance. You want this fresh start, and so you may be putting your energy, rushing into that, coming up with ideas or solutions that would help you do that. It's also about looking accurately, though, at your capabilities. What are your limitations? There could be some things that you must say no to. They are beyond your ability. It's more than you can chew. And this is a good time to, look at yourself, others, your role in a situation, and perhaps have greater compassion, because there's the possibility of confrontation in dealing with people who have a difference in opinion, challenging views, because they come from a different background or a different mindset. So you're going to have to offer some kind of forgiveness, both to yourself and others, in order to get started on this new track. Otherwise, you're going to either fall into a rut, go back to some old habits, or you're going to try to get something going for the wrong reasons, in which case it's not really going to take footing and it's not really going to go anywhere. Now, that was in the past. So presently, you're looking at the past. You're doing this review of goodwill exchanges. Maybe this is confidence in someone from the past. It could be a child, an ex, a lover, friends, family, someone that played an integral role in your history. And so there's some sentimentality or nostalgia, some exchanges of goodwill. Maybe you're confident that that will take place based on the things that you've contributed in the past. Because this is a time where karmic seeds have taken root and they're coming back, whatever they were, good or bad. So it's likely that you're going to be hearing from someone from the past or about someone from the past. And any good deeds or kind acts that you've performed are going to come back to you, and probably, you'll be surprised by that. Someone wants to reciprocate. By the same token, if you were negative or inflicted harm or pain or suffering, you can expect to reap the seeds of that as well. So in that case, you may be hearing from somebody that you would rather avoid, and it may affect your confidence level. So this is about addressing issues of the past, your karmic ties to others. Now, perhaps it's related to the income or the security or devotion of someone, yours to this person or that to you. And again, maybe your children, someone from your past, old loves, old friends. Now, you're doing this review. perhaps of your finances, or a job offer, or travel opportunity, or expansion in some way. You're at the threshold of an opportunity and you're hesitating in order to give it some consideration. You may feel like something is missing. You know that there's something more out there, that you could do better, that you could make more of yourself or a situation. And you're considering whether you want to join alliances, perhaps, with someone from your past. This could be to make money, or again, to simply show your loyalty and devotion. So whatever this is, you're having to trust your instincts about it. But you shouldn't move forward without getting all of the information or the facts, because if, again, you extend beyond your capability, it's likely that you're going to get a strong reality check where you're put in your place. So it's important to know where you're trying to head and to trust what your intuition is telling you. Because if not, other people will manipulate you, or they will take your opportunity. And again, it ties to your security. You're reviewing abundance, whatever that means. Whether you're having to look over a whole lot of issues, or you're actually looking at, abundance, prosperity in whatever form. It could be that you simply want to prove a point to someone, or you want to vindicate yourself or extricate yourself from a situation. Either way, there's an opening for you to move forward or to withhold. And with the good blessings, there's no penalty for whatever choice you decide. So you're doing a review of the past income, past assets, past connections that hold some kind of nostalgia or sentimentality. In the future, there's some worry and anxiety for you. Perhaps because of some things that were said, some harsh words or aggressive actions tied to the past. Or it could be some communication, some regret, some remorse, or some guilt about something. Now, this may tie to actual illness or just worry that's keeping you up at night. There's an element of suffering here. It could be your own, or you're worried about the choices and decisions of someone else tied to the past. And you're trying to balance your emotions. You may be actually masking how you really feel. It could be about trying to juggle a lot of responsibilities or duties or obligations, or simply trying to contain those emotions that are keeping you up at night. Whatever it is, there are some alternatives that heretofore you have not considered, based on whatever reason. Maybe you couldn't come up with those ideas. Maybe you were against it. You were acting on principle, and you were very fiery that you certainly would never do this or that or the other. But there are other options, whether you are actively seeking those or not. And there's a decision to be made, something that's important, and you could be worried about that. It could be a legal matter. It could be, a focus on what's fair, what's right, what's just. For some of you, there may be a tie to a Libra person. But for others of you, this is about trying to restore order in some way, whether that's your health, your finances, a relationship. So you are looking at where maybe something hasn't been balanced. You're waiting for justice, waiting for something to right itself. And it may mean some accountability. You may be examining your own conscience and having to make a decision that may tie to debts or unfinished business or unresolved issues. But again, the focus is on what's fair, what's right. It may be distributing assets. It may be determining what responsibilities should be shared. It may be making a choice between two very important options. And you're having to be patient. Either there's worry, you're waiting for someone else to make a decision, or you have anxiety about making a decision yourself. This may have to do with having too many options. Maybe you're looking at your choices and you don't really know what holds value. Now, maybe you're worried about making a decision about something how expensive something is. Perhaps it's a luxury vehicle, or maybe you're doing some shopping, or you're buying a gift. Maybe this is a project. Maybe you are getting paid for something, whether it's writing or painting or singing or poetry. Whatever it is, this may be a very prolific period for you. You're concerned with beauty, design, harmony, line, function. So that may be a concern. Or perhaps there's a secret love affair. There's an attraction that you hold with someone, and you're doing this review, this connection from the past. One of you has multiple options. For some of you, there's some worry. You want to restore mental balance. This may be some depression or mental health challenges. There could be some decisions about health where somebody may be using drugs or alcohol. There's also a breakthrough, though, some unexpected news or an unexpected visitor, some kind of encounter. Something gives you some psychological insight. And part of that is determining what your priorities are. And, maybe working in order of importance. For some of you, you're overwhelmed with a situation. Maybe you're overbooked, or you're double booked. You're expected to be in 2 places at one time. You've actually bitten off more than you can chew. And now you're running behind. You're a day late and $1 short. So you may be overwhelmed by circumstances, confusion, the inability to see the true merit of something, being overwhelmed with choice, and having to worry about if you're making the right decision, what's fair and what's right. Now, what's behind this is perhaps gaining some form of recognition, knowing that you need to take action, whether that's for a project or to travel or to make a purchase. This is a victory card with the help of others. It comes more easily when you accept the advice, the assistance, the suggestions, the constructive criticism, and when you're willing to reciprocate and offer your services as well. So when you work together, things move quickly, they move more easily and more enjoyably. There could be some resistance to that creates delays. Someone may not want to listen, or somebody has the power and they're lording it over others. So there may be a need to be in the spotlight, or to be above it all in a negative way. The problem is this fresh start with something that ties to the past. Confidence that gives you the freedom to create and make a fresh start, that excites you. And, worry about income or loyalty or secret love affairs, or whether something is moving quickly as it should. And this review where maybe money is disappearing, or, a review of what you need to purchase or buy, or the choice that you need to make. So there's a dilemma that you're facing where there's some uncertainty. You may be in conflict with others, or maybe you're conflicted yourself. You're moving in 2 opposite directions. Maybe you don't know if you should rush into something or take your time and be more methodical. And there are discussions about the future. Whatever you're doing right now, there's an eye to the future. Maybe you're involved in commerce or some kind of transaction. Or again, there's the possibility that someone is going to take your place and seize an opportunity. So the focus is, again, that prioritizing, knowing what's most important, and handling the responsibilities that are presently before you overreach. So do what needs to be done in the present in order to meet a goal in the future. And it ties to partnerships, your attachment level to situations and other people, whether those exchanges are equal in nature. You may feel very devoted, you may feel loyal to someone, or you may feel anxiety because there's some suspicion about where that devotion lies, either with yourself or another person. Whatever this is, there are questions from the past that are influencing the present. And it centers around benefits that come through others. Now, you may be connecting with people of influence, people who can open doorways for you, people who have information, knowledge. It's about some kind of favor, perhaps. And it's about cyclic issues. Whatever this is, it's coming around again for a review for you to give it more thought. For some of you, this is going to tie to a legal or a court case, or it's about protection, you offering it or receiving it, or again, being in conflict with odds of others, being in some kind of rivalry, working against yourself or working against others in a conflicting mission. You have two major cards, world and justice. So it could be a decision about the world, about the internet, about dealing with foreigners, about health, restoring order somehow, maybe travel. There's going to be an emotional development that ties to your partnerships and whether you are dealing with people constructively or destructively, and also how you're allowing yourself to be dealt with. Now, what is your big question? Am I communicating my needs? And again, you have this communication card. Someone may need to work on their communication skills. There could be slow to communicate, or there's confusion in the message, or overwhelmed with emotion and being very irrational or argumentative. Your needs matter. What are you needing right now that you haven't communicated? What are you afraid of? Is it possible that what you are fearing is not true? So communication is at the core of your situation, and it ties to your security, whether that's financial or whether you're getting the emotional support that you feel you deserve. The answer is take the risk. So if you're facing some fears about what needs to be said, you're encouraged to open up. Cut through the confusion. Be clear on what you need, what you want, what your desires are, because this is about, again, enlisting the help, support of others and offering that as well. Now, whatever this situation is, it's not carefully thought through. There's a lack of introspection here, a lack of nurturing, a lack of sensitivity or understanding. And perhaps, again, because you have these two knights moving in different directions, there's a lack of decisiveness. So you may not hold a lot of power right now. You may be overwhelmed, confused. Now may not be the best time for you to act. There's also an absence of humility. There's not a lot of lightness or freshness or playfulness, and maybe that's an issue. You're worried about how you can restore order to a very confusing situation. You need a breakthrough. You're trying to maintain your emotional balance and be patient in order to get this breakthrough.